All right, welcome to the Max Effort Kitchen podcast. We have a athlete and the chef episode. My name is Matt. This is Cornell. Cornell, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
are currently frozen, but I can still go
really?
and talk.
Oh, okay. Can you hear
with
me?
You being frozen.
That's weird. It's all working
now
on
you
my
moved.
end.
You moved.
There we go.
Now you're moving.
Oh, you just
Okay.
never really know, right? But you can hear me all right, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Cornell, how you doing? How's your weekend going?
Good. Picked up a trailer today to start unloading the stuff from the house, starting with the stuff we really don't need, like Christmas stuff, because we don't need that for a year. So those are the first things in the trailer, and the house is getting way emptier. One of the things I did was I disassembled the platform because I layered the whole floor in the trailer with the rubber and the plywood.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, this takes up literally 1 inch of space now. So the platform's all gone. Took the squat rack off. I haven't disassembled that. Just took it off the wall and kind of cleaned up the garage. And yeah, been a pretty busy weekend.
Yeah, sounds like a good weekend. Man, I was looking forward to this weekend because it was kind of the first one that I just didn't have much going. And it's been pretty damn good. Gotten a lot of stuff done. I mean, kids sports it's ramping up again. So that's taken a good portion. But yeah, I mean, outside of watching a great new Netflix series, it's called Black Dove.
Okay.
It's all British spy type stuff. I highly recommend it. If anybody out there has watched it, you know what I mean. But it's 6 episodes. They're each 55 minutes long, and they're edge of the seat all the way through. Leaves you on the biggest cliffhangers, so you can't say no to the next episode.
Yep.
We watched 4 in one night, and I'm like, that's 4 hours. We just put down 4 hours of TV. Yeah. But anyways, I don't do that during the middle of the week, so whatever. I'm just going to get right into it, dude. So I saw a post from Coach Mary. I'm only going to say Coach Mary because I don't know how to say her last name. It's Thapin? I don't know.
I thought you were going to say it.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, she was talking about this new Virus and USAW partnership, and I was like, I haven't heard anything about this, so let's look it up. And I looked it up, and I couldn't find too much anything about it except for on their LinkedIn page, which was interesting. But basically, what they're saying is, USAW is giving Virus the apparel rights, which for Team USA. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of benefit on the, what do you want to call it, amateur side, maybe? I don't know. Maybe we'll get discounted things for being a USAW member. That did not get released, but just guessing. And then the one thing that I saw that I was like, this is really weird. They're giving Virus the naming rights for the AO series. So the way they said it is now it's going to be known as the Virus Weightlifting Series 1, 2, and 3. And I thought that was really weird.
Yeah, it's like I guess they probably just paid a lot of money for that.
I would imagine so, yeah.
I don't really know what to think about that. I mean, it was I go back to the NASCAR stuff where they all have their different patches on for who's giving them the most money.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Virus. I have a I'm trying to choose my words carefully with this one.
Okay.
I know people who are friends with the owners of Virus, and
right.
The owner of Virus goes to a gym that's very associated with my gym.
Okay.
I really used to like Virus.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I mean, they were, I hate saying it, but they were the ones who got me to accept spending $70 on
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, I would have never done that before.
Yeah.
And I still don't like doing that now. And I'm at the point now where I don't do that anymore.
Right.
But they were amazing pants in the beginning, and then you washed them a dozen times and all the seams started coming undone, and they were just like, oh, well, you're not supposed to wash them, or you're not supposed to dry them. And I was just like, all right, well, I'm not going to. I got to a point where I wasn't going to buy their stuff anymore just because it was falling apart. Then they came out with some new stuff, and they like fixed some of the problems and that kind of a thing. But my biggest issue now is their sizing is so off.
Oh,
So
really?
I've been an XL for 25 years.
Okay.
An XL felt like a medium, like maybe not quite, like a slim fit large was the XL regular fit. And there was some stuff that was ordered that was custom, so you can't return it.
Right.
But if it was returnable, I would 100% returned it. I mean, I have some custom stuff now from our gym that I dread wearing. Like, and it looks so cool, but it is so small.
Yeah.
And then I've got our gym got jumpsuits. So we got pants, and we got the not a hoodie, but it's kind of a hoodie, but it's a windbreaker kind of thing.
Yeah.
I hadn't realized how small their stuff was when that order went in, and I almost couldn't get in the jacket because it doesn't have a zipper in the front. It's a half zipper.
Oh no.
And then once I get it on, I'm like, okay, this fits. But I'm holding my stomach in the whole time, and I'm not even that big right now.
Right.
Like I'm like 104 or 105. So there's a lot of those little things why I'm very frustrated with who they were and what they are now. And something happened that I don't want to get too into, what I know somewhat about, but it's not the same company it used to be. And when they came back from all their stuff, they're kind of playing off everyone's emotions, and they jacked all their prices up super high. And there's other competitors out there now whose their stuff I think is better. Yeah.
And I agree with you. I don't think I've had as much experience with Virus as you have. In fact, I have not accepted the $70 workout pants. However, I have paid. I guess I paid like $55 for weightlifting house stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that in a second. But I do have 4 pairs of the training Virus pants. And the only reason I do have them is because the very first meet I ever competed at, which was in Salt Lake, they had an athlete room, and they were selling them for like $25-$30 a pair.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I've never had these. Everybody has them. Oh my gosh. So I bought 4 pairs. I don't want this to sound like we're completely trashing Virus, because we're not, but my pockets are completely ripped out. Like you said, the seams are coming apart, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad I did not pay full price for these. Do I still wear them? Yeah. Because I know I can trash on them, and that's cool. But I'll tell you, when I'm going into a big lifting session, I'll tell you what I am wearing. And that is the 90s series weightlifting house gear that he put out, because that stuff, as my son would say, that stuff cooks. I don't even know what that means, but you know what I mean. There's just something, and maybe it's because I'm an old guy. I'm a homer for really well-made, thoughtful products, not somebody who's pushing out volume. And like I said, I don't know much about Virus. I don't have much experience with them. I know they've been in the weightlifting world for a long time. I know that in 2020, you couldn't really talk about them because everybody thought you were talking about the freaking COVID. But I think it's weird. I got to be honest. I think it's weird that they got the naming rights for American Open. That's an odd move.
Yeah, I think. I don't like that. It makes it very obvious that USAW got a big payout from them.
Yeah.
It's a risk I know that they're making to try to keep their head above water, from what I'm under the impression.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it wasn't, and maybe I shouldn't say some of these things, so I won't. but like, so the just going back to, I don't feel that we are necessarily talking trash about them. I think that this is like honest reviews. This is like my honest review where I think I paid full price for 2 pairs of their pants. Everything else I would always get on the sale. Like I never shopped the new stuff. I only shopped the sale rack. I'd get stuff at competitions that was cheap, and I had a lot of their stuff, and I really liked it. And then the stuff now, I'm like, I have a pair. I have probably, because they give such a great discount to coaches, Viore, I have almost every color pants of the Sunday joggers that they have. I wear 2 different sizes. That's how much of their stuff that I have, where I have the stuff that I wear to the gym and this that I'm lifting in, and then the stuff that I wear when I'm not at the gym. Yeah. So I like the medium when I'm in the gym because it fits like almost like tights, but you don't have to feel like an idiot if you go to the gas station first and grab some stuff. They're just pants. But they're tighter than I would like to wear just around all around. And then I have the regular pairs that I'll wear if I'm going to the movies or if I'm going out and like just wearing around the house and those kinds of things. So like, I like them to the point where I have 2 different sizes. But my large Virus pants are smaller than my medium Viore.
Yeah, I think you remember you telling me about that. There's the funny thing that sticks in my head because I have a pair of the blue training pants, and well, you were up here and we were getting ready for a competition. And it was when you did when you counted cards for Damon and I, and we're over at Damon's house the night before, and you're like, "Hey, did those pants shrink on you?" Because I was wearing my blue Virus, and I remember looking down and being like, "Oh my god, they are that tight." Yeah, that or I got way bigger, but yeah, you're right. I'm not wearing those out of the gym most likely. And Viore though, I mean, listen, they're a great product. Don't go to Nordstrom's to try to buy them, because you'll spend $175 per pair of pants. And just use your leverage and look online, and you'll find some but it's a good product. I like it.
Also, if you're a coach, it's not complicated to go through their little affiliate thing, and coaches get 40% off.
They do.
So like, the pants aren't cheap. They're the regular pants at regular price is $98. But if you can get them for 60, I mean, 60 to me is acceptable.
Yeah.
With the other company, they went from using to be like 68, I think was like the original price. And then they bumped up to 75, and now they're like 108.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then you can get like a 10% discount if you use some like athlete code.
Yeah. See, now, I mean, and I love it that they do that. That's fantastic. I don't know. Like I said, as far as gear goes, man, I'm such when I find something I like, I stick with it. And so I'm just right now, I'm a big homer for weightlifting house stuff. And that's what we'll keep it there.
I got the house tights. I forgot what they're called. The house ones. And when those arrived, I took them out of the bag, and it was like this magic material that I had never felt before.
I know.
And I was like,
I know.
It's thick, it's smooth, it's stretchy. I don't have to worry about like bending over in these.
Exactly.
And then when they said they're coming out with the singlet, I don't have that yet, but I'm not really competing. So it's not worth buying. But the singlet is made out of the same material. And I was like, this is 10 steps above what Virus has ever been.
Yeah.
So their biggest problem is they're a real small company, so they don't keep stuff in stock. Like they're doing what they can. So if you want to get their stuff, you kind of got to go for it.
It's interesting because I don't think I've ever set an alarm for 6 a.m. to get on the computer and buy something. And I did that for those tights.
Nice.
Those, not the tights, but the shorts ones.
Okay.
Yeah. And because the tights sold out really quick, and I was like, well, I didn't get any of the tights. I'm going to set an alarm 6 o'clock in the morning. They dropped. It froze for like a minute and I was freaking out. And then I ordered 2 pairs and I was like, good, done.
Yeah.
So.
I got the first pair of tights right when they came out on that first drop. And they said they were sold out in like an hour.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have to do it. I will say that I do like the shorts, but I got the 90s shorts.
Okay.
And I like those better.
Okay.
There's a little more room. They're a little longer, but it's the same material.
Nice.
And they don't have the drawstring, which I like. Yeah.
I pick those out anyway.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. I didn't buy any of their stuff because I'm like, it was a time where I'm like, I don't need anything right now. I'm not going to buy this drop, even though it's really thick.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 days later, I'm like, screw it, I'm buying it. And I went on and everything was sold out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I think I put my email in they said they were going to redrop some of the shirts. And then I got one of the white and turquoise shirt. So
nice. Oh yeah. I saw you wearing that the other day. That's great.
Yeah.
How do you like the long sleeves? Like not long sleeves, but they're longer than normal shirts.
It's a little bit longer. It's made to be a little bit baggier. It is a thicker material shirt.
Okay.
The only thing that kind of throws it off, it feels like a big shirt, except for down by the waist. It doesn't go down any further. So for how wide it is and for how baggy and long the shoulder or the sleeves are, I was expecting the other part to be lower.
Okay.
Again, not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, like, it's a different cut than I've ever worn, but it's just different. So
yeah. Well, I think our news about the partnership turned into more of a review on different clothes. So I kind of like that. That's a good one. I kind of want to transition into a little bit of a hybrid food training meal thing. And what I want to do, and this will be, I mean, I have probably like 5 in my head, so I probably could blurt out this really quick. But I want to hear you build your favorite like post-training meal. And I'm talking like, whatever, if Monday's a hard session usually for me. Or Friday for some people, but whatever your hardest session is, what are you eating afterwards? Like endless supply of whatever, what are you making?
Well, if it's totally up to me, I'm not going to make anything. I'm going to go buy something.
Well, that's what I mean. What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm real basic. Yesterday, I was on the way back. Was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago, back on the way home from the gym. I'm 20 minutes away. Called Kayla. I'm like, "Did you eat yet?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "You want me to get a pizza?" She's like, "Sure." I ordered a Papa John's pizza. By the time I got home, it was ready. And 3 minutes after we were home, it was gone. Like,
love it.
I don't want to go through and make anything after a really hard session or a late evening. I just want to be able to eat something fast and easy that's going to be good. It's going to have the fats, the proteins, the carbs. It's going to have kind of everything in it. Okay. And I think I've heard you say a long time ago, pizza is like a superfood if you really break it all down.
It has everything. It has carbs, fats, protein. Like what else do you need?
Yeah. And it's so easy. I was talking to someone the other day and I was like, they're like, "What's a weird fact about you?" I'm like, "I don't like silverware." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "I don't like silverware." Like, I will do everything in my power not to need to use silverware. I am shockingly good at eating without silverware and not making a mess as well.
I love that. That's freaking awesome. I'm right there with you. Being in the industry, I am, and I've talked about this before. I am the guy that likes to stand over the garbage can and eat with my hands, and whatever is like very, very end, I just throw it in the garbage can and go on to the next slice or whatever I'm eating.
I have 3 dogs sitting right next to me when I'm over the trash can.
That's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like that. So, okay. So you're going pizza, Papa John's, or whatever good pizza you could find. That is a solid.
I wouldn't choose Papa John's, but it's a half mile from my house. I have the app.
Convenience.
I can click reorder, Apple Pay. I can get it all done at a stoplight.
Yeah,
and it's ready.
Yeah. And I can appreciate that. So I have a kind of a two-part answer. Now, I may be a little bit spoiled on my first part of the answer because, when I go down to the garage and train, Alana and I have certain days that she makes dinner, and certain days that I make dinner. Well, most of my training days, she makes dinner. So when I get out of dinner and she has what we call Meatball Monday going on, like I'm telling you, like she makes the big guys, big meatballs, sauce. She makes pasta for herself, but I don't even eat the pasta. And there's usually like a vegetable there, but like I'll eat probably, I don't know, 6 meatballs.
Nice.
And it's fantastic. And if I have any bread, we're dipping the bread in the sauce. Like I don't even care if it's like Wonder Bread. Like I'm hitting that up. Like it's good stuff. But she has done a really good job at making the meatballs. And so that's one of my favorites. On the other side, if I'm buying it, I'm going to a little Hawaiian grill. It's called Roxy's Grill. And I'm getting the Colby chicken, which is like basically teriyaki chicken with a bunch of garlic and sesame seeds. I'm getting 1 scoop of white rice and 2 scoops of mac. And I'm getting a whole bunch of sriracha teriyaki sauce. And I'm telling you, that meal right there, actually, like if I'm buying something, that is my go-to post-training because it's the only time I can actually finish it and not feel like I need to like sit down for 2 days. But if I haven't trained, I won't eat it. And that kind of tells you a little bit about that. But it is, it hits the spot. It has the sweet, has the fat, has the protein, has the carbs and the rice. And I'm just like, I feel so great afterwards. It's funny that food can make me feel so happy.
That's what I picked up on the way to my last meet. So I was trying to like figure out what would be a good food to eat that wouldn't be too heavy, but it would still be filling. And so that's exactly what I was like. I should get some Hawaiian stuff, teriyaki. I think I got steak and rice and the salad. I don't think they had mac there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome.
It's awesome, dude. It's awesome. I mean, tonight I did a Korean beef over rice, and I did like a poached egg on top, which was really good. And I won't get into that, but like I needed to do something different with ground beef. And so I broke it up, seared a bunch of it, threw a bunch of Korean stuff in there and over rice. It was fantastic. Nice. Yeah. And, but man, I'm telling you, like play around with your training, your post-training meals. I'd love to hear what everybody else likes to eat. Traditionally mine's always been pizza, but I didn't want to say the obvious things. So I've moved on from that and gone to some different things, which is fun. But, I love it, man. I love it. It's a lot of good stuff, and it allows me to eat what the hell I want to eat, which I like that too. I don't know about you, Cornell, but the older I get, it's like the lower my appetite gets. Are you dealing with that at all? Because
I feel like I eat less, but I don't lose weight.
Okay, I like that.
I'm like, I'm not eating that much right now. Why am I not 102 right now?
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff.
I did. Talking about pizza, and you're the pizza guy.
Yeah.
I did make a pizza the other day that my wife said was the best pizza I've ever made. And
okay.
I was like, I don't know why it was so good, but it was really good. So what are the ingredients in pizza sauce generally? Like tomatoes, garlic, is it rosemary? Is that one of them?
Oregano.
Oh, oregano. That's the one.
Yep.
And then like salt and pepper, right? That's pretty much it.
I mean, some places will put sugar in it, but I highly, highly suggest not doing that. Anyways, go for it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So for some reason, I picked up some pizza sauce, but I also picked up, my son really likes little cherry tomatoes, and I'm not a big tomato fan just in general. Like I just don't like eating them. If they're on food, I'll eat them, but it takes a lot for me to put them on my food. But I also know that they're really good when you chop those up and put them on top of pizza and then let it cook on there.
Right.
So I basically made my own sauce without making sauce. I chopped up
it.
the tomatoes, and then I put the oregano, and I put the garlic and the salt and pepper, and I think I even had a little bit of garlic salt on there as well, and made a pepperoni pizza that way, where everything. I think I buttered the dough. I just put butter down on that, and then I cheesed on top of that. But then everything else was just a topping, and then with I think I had pepper. Yeah, I had pepperoni on one, and then I did the same exact thing, but margarita with the other one with basil.
Nice, dude. That's
and
great.
It was like a total different flavor, but it was like, this is pizza sauce, but it's not pizza sauce.
Yeah. Well, those little cherry tomatoes too. They pack a bigger sugar content than most of them. Yeah. And I'll tell you,
all the weird colored ones,
like the yellow
and the purple and all that kind of stuff.
When those things are in season, and I know you're not a tomato guy, so you may not relate to this, but when those things are in season, we run a pizza called the Fresco, which I made for you guys while I was down there. I'll eat those things like candy. I'm just like in my mouth because they're so sweet. And when they're perfectly in season, the sugar content, the smaller they are, the better the sugar content. So know that the bigger they get, the less the sugar content. But I bet that was a great pizza. I bet that was really balanced. Man, that's freaking fantastic.
Plus it's also nice because like if you buy the pizza sauce, it's like, all right, I gotta make sure I make pizza again this week. Yeah. And this was something where it's like, oh, well, I know all this other stuff is going to get eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pizza sauce does not go to waste in this household, especially with my daughter, because she is a sauce pie queen. So that's all she likes. I am really looking forward to the weather getting nice again so I can break out my oven, because I have, since we moved, I'm like, I just haven't set it up. And so I'm kind of waiting, just about fell, kind of waiting to break that out and have some good times with that. But kind of transitioning on, and I love all the food talk, but Cordell, I think I polled you guys over the week. Maybe it was Friday. I don't know what day it was. And I went into my little sob story of, I forgot how to snatch. I don't know what's going on. Blah, blah. Obviously not taking into consideration the past month and a half has been crazy with moving, new environment, blah, blah, blah. A lot of stuff going. Cool. Whatever. I talked myself off the ledge there. But what I was thinking is there's a couple different accessories that really, really, really work for me. And I was going to ask you, like, is there an accessory that you have to the main lift that you are like, that works for me every time, that resets me, and I will not skip that?
I don't know how much of an accessory this is, but modified lift, I would definitely say, is the muscle snatch.
Okay.
There was a time where I was really good at it. And then there was a time where my snatching started to fall apart. And my buddy Nick, he made some comment about like, you're not lifting like you need to lift like you muscle snatch. And when you muscle snatch, you're going very vertical. You're like, yes, you have a lot of hip contact, but it still goes straight up. It's not that you're laying back. You're not, I forgot what exactly he said, but he said, you need to start doing this more. And it was just one of those things he said in passing. And then I just started doing it again, and all my snatching came back. So
that's fantastic.
I try to muscle snatch multiple times a week. It might not, it's almost never part of the program. Right now it is.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be, if I'm in competition, I have a thing that coaches don't understand or like until they trust me. And I max out my muscle snatch before we go out there. Like before I'll have my shoes on. I haven't been tying my shoes for a couple of weeks, but when I would tie my shoes, like I wouldn't even tie my shoes. Sorry, I would be wearing straps. And then I just kind of start lifting, and people are like, what are you doing? Like, you're going to be one of the last people who open. Why do you have 90 kilos on the bar? Why do you have 100 kilos on the bar? And then I would always make sure I'd hit at least 100.
Yeah.
And then every time I have PR'd, my muscle snatch has been in competition. and there's no video documentation of it. Because you're not gonna be like, oh, can you film this?
Yeah. No, I like that. And I've known that about you. I know that like you're pretty pretty aware of your lifting. And so I think you've told me like when you've hit, I'm going to guess I think it was 105. When you muscle snatch 105 is when you've hit your biggest snatching competition.
If I can muscle snatch 100, I can hit 140 that day.
That's right. That's what it was.
It might not be the first shot, but it's going to be, it'll be very doable.
Yeah.
If I miss 100, but if 90 feels real heavy, I won't generally go over like 125.
Right.
And then like when I hit my best muscle snatch is 112. That same day I snatched 150 in competition like an hour later. So
wow.
It's just one of those things where I can kind of tell where I'm at based on how that moves.
Yeah. I like that. That's a good one. I would say for me, I'm working towards a high pull, and I don't know what I know what it is. I'm sorry, I don't know why I say that. I know what it is. It's the high pull. When I can pop that thing up almost to my nipples, I'm like, it gives me confidence, and B, it reminds me to keep the bar close to my body.
Okay.
And so I'll do a lot of like pull plus, full snatch or a pull plus hang. First of all, I've always had my best sessions that way. I was the whole month of December, I did nothing but pull plus, and I had a couple variations. And every time, by the end of December, I was doubling, a pull plus full snatch at 95, which is a good double for me. Also, I don't know if you remember back at that camp we went to up in Washington, we did pulls the day before I hit 112. And to me, and so it all starts like connecting the dots. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to start doing pulls. And so I like heavy pulls. I like the pull plus. Anything that allows me to feel the bar before I go to a full go under it. I think it helps my brain really put things together.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like everyone has something different that they can kind of like make their own, and then they can use that for their advantage. The muscle snatch for me probably wouldn't necessarily do anything for you.
Right.
The pull for you does a lot. The pull for me, unfortunately, I don't like high pulls. That's just me.
Well, I know it's because I have a problem finishing, and I know that, so it sets me up for it well. Sure. But yeah, I think it speaks to what our weak points are, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting.
Yeah, because the high pull will make you finish better. The muscle snatch will make me be more vertical and not just like use the hips and lay back. So.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. I can tell you what I don't like.
Okay.
It's I'm just blanked. What was it?
Yeah, let's go over what we hate.
Okay.
Like, what if this is on the program and you look at the program, you're like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I usually do that when these pop up. I'm going to pull my program up here real quick. And they come up every Tuesday, and usually I say, nope, not doing it. What? Okay, hold on. It was last Tuesday. Snatch balance.
Okay.
I'm not going to drop an F-bomb, but I want to. But like, I'm the worst at snatch balance. I couldn't do more than 70 kilos, dude. And it was so maddening. And I felt like such a wuss. And it just set a tone that I was like, oh my God. I know in my head, the big positive me is like, you need to get better at these. You'll be better at snatching if you do, but at the same point, I'm like, I've gone almost 7 years without doing a snatch balance.
what a lot of people will say, like the purpose of a snatch balance is build confidence because you can put more weight overhead than you can in a snatch. I can snatch more than I can snatch balance. So
yeah, me too.
are you doing it? Okay. Let me be the therapist now.
Okay, cool.
It's probably a primer. So it's before the session, right?
No, it is the actual snatch part of my session. It's on a Tuesday. And,
and is it
guy thinks I'm an old guy and doesn't like me working out 5 days or 4 days a week. So they give me this weird session.
Is it from the rack?
It doesn't say. It
do you
probably
do it from the rack?
No.
Okay,
I snatch it up, prop it down, breathe for a second, and then I go.
Okay. So you're doing all the things I was going to tell you to do. So snatch balance for me is really bad because I have oddly length limbs and they're not the same.
Yeah.
Broken femur does that to you.
But yes.
From the rack, like when it's the first thing in a program, I'm like, this is going to be awful because I'm not warm. I'm not ready for this. I'm not, you want me to go how heavy?
Yeah.
So what I've found is for me, the best way to do them is like Saturday, I did 2 muscle snatch plus a snatch balance. Okay. Again, it's not going to be that heavy because it's what I can muscle snatch. But I do the snatch, then I kind of get set. I don't put it on my back and then get set. I get set while it's still overhead. Then I rack it perfectly onto my back, go into the dip, and then drive straight out of that. Oh. So it's much more like a cycled movement, and it creates one full movement instead of like the clean and the jerk. It's like you're doing it more like you would almost, let's say, a thruster. But
oh, dude.
So keep it light, keep it. And it's funny because this is how I like to do it if I have to do it. Yeah. But one of the things that I would skip, I haven't done behind the neck jerk work in years because
either way,
it's god awful. And when we were on our last team, our coach would program them quite often, but for reps in the middle of summer when everyone's dripping sweat. And I don't know if you were on the team yet, but we lost like two athletes like left the team because they got that hurt.
Yep.
And then I got pretty hurt. But I knew enough how to let go, but I still sprained my wrist. And then someone else got pretty hurt, but they didn't quit.
Yeah.
And so, but if it's the snatch balance, I have no problem doing that.
Yeah. Boy, I don't like them at all. And whatever, it is what it is. And I think we all have the stuff that we don't like. As far as what's your caveat? Where are you like, hell no, I'm not doing that?
Well, I was gonna say behind the neck jerk work.
Yeah, I guess you did, right? Yeah. Okay.
I've also got some other stuff that I have learned about myself where the center part of my abs are not connected. So I guess it's pretty common for women when they have a baby.
Oh.
So if I do like GHD sit-ups, the middle of my stomach looks like an alien's about to pop out.
Okay, I think I've seen this. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
So I won't really do much of that anymore. I don't really do planks. There's a lot of that core stuff that people like, you should be doing this. And I have found other ways of doing things. I mean, I can still do back extensions, pretty weighted, really like those. I'm also a big fan, even though I don't do them that often, of overloaded back squat, just unracks where I'll load way more than I can squat.
Yeah.
Like way more than I've ever squatted in my life. And then you just pick it up. You don't walk it out. You just pick it up off the rack, stand up. You're creating a lot of core strength right there. So
yeah, I like that. I've been doing chin-ups after every session. And it's only because it's not even in my program. It's just like my new setup has the space for it, and it allows for me to jump up there and see if I can do it. And I one day I was like, oh, I could do 3. Cool. Nice. And so every week I'm adding 1 to the list. I think I'm at like 7 right now, but I don't know. I get some weird pump from it. It's just a chin up. Like,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. We were training on Friday, and I was talking about it. I was like, yeah, back in the CrossFit days, I was kipping. Oh, I'd do like 100, and I thought about that, and I was like, God, thank you that I'm not doing that anymore. Those are horrible, and they're not even real pull-ups. So we're not going to go down that route. Anyways, hey, we're at 40 minutes. We made it. And hey, Cornell, I didn't tell you this, but I'm working on getting some guests onto the show. It's not the people we were talking about on the chat board here, but I might reach out to them. I'll talk to you about that afterwards. So everybody keep listening. We're going to have some guests on because we had a couple for the second there, and then we kind of pulled away from it a little bit. And I think it's just because it was busy and nobody could do it. So I'm going to work towards getting that and some fun shows coming up, I guess. We're going to try to go a little early or anytime after 7 for the next foreseeable future. So if you see us pop up, I know it does give I
would say at least till the time change.
Yeah, at least till the time change. There you go. I like that. So just keep an eye out for that. And if you see us pop up, come watch us live. If not, then just check us out wherever you find your podcast. So, Cornell, thank you for being on. Appreciate it. Great show. And we'll talk to you all later. Adios.
Bye.